Hello, my dear students. Good morning. I hope you are well, safe, and happy. Try to stay at home. This is my first advice. And never mix with other people, never shake hands. Today we have Unit 66. We have Grammar 2 course. Today we have the differences between to do something or of doing something. Yeah, of ing. For example, we have afraid to do something, and we have afraid of doing something. Yes, this is to begin with. Afraid, I'm afraid to do something, or I am afraid of doing something. There is, a little difference, of course. When you say, for example, I am afraid to do something, it means you don't want to do it because it is dangerous, or the consequence, the result could be dangerous or bad. For example, this part of town is dangerous. People are afraid to walk here, and at night, of course, they don't walk here at night because it is dangerous. James was afraid to tell his parents what happened, so he didn't tell them because he was afraid. He thought that they would be angry with him. But I'm afraid of something happening. I'm afraid of something happening. It means that I do it, although I know that something bad may happen. The path, the road here was icy, so we walked very carefully. We were afraid of falling. We were afraid of that we would fall, not afraid to fall. So we walk, although we were afraid of falling. But when we are afraid to do something, we do not do it. I don't like dogs. I'm always afraid of being bitten. I'm afraid that I will be bitten, not afraid to be bitten. Yes. So you are afraid to do something because you are afraid of something happening. As a result, I was afraid to go near the dog because I was afraid of being bitten. So I was afraid to go, and I didn't go. But afraid of being bitten, you can come near the dog, but you are, of course, afraid of being bitten. We have the next two forms: interested in doing and interested to do. I'm interested in doing something. I'm thinking of doing it. I would like to do it. Let me know if you are interested in joining the club. Interested in joining, not to join. I tried to sell my car, but nobody was interested to buy it. Yes, or nobody was interested in buying it, not to buy it. That's right. I was interested to hear, to see, to know something. That means it was interesting for me to hear, to know, and so on. For example, I was interested to hear that Tanya left her job. I heard this, and it was interesting to hear for me. I'll ask Mike for his opinion. I would be interested to know his opinion. to know what he thinks. I would be interesting. I would be interesting, or it would be interesting for me to know what he thinks. This structure is the same as surprised to, glad to, etc. See Unit 65. I was surprised to hear that Tanya left the job. We have two forms, sorry for and sorry to. We use sorry for doing something. We were sorry for doing something, so we to apologize for something. To apologize for something. I'm sorry for shouting at you yesterday. Not sorry to shout. I'm sorry for shouting. You can also say, I'm sorry I shouted. I'm sorry I shouted at you yesterday. We use sorry to say that we regret something that happens. I'm sorry to hear that Nikki lost her job. Not sorry for, sorry to hear. I've enjoyed my stay here. I'll be sorry to leave. I'll be sorry to leave. We also say, I'm sorry to apologize at that time we do something. I'm sorry to bother you, but I need to ask you a question. So, I'm sorry to do something and I'm doing it. We say, I want to do, I'd like to do, I hope to do, I failed. Yes, I failed or we failed to do. We allowed them to do. We plan to do. We promise to do. But I'm afraid or I'm thinking of doing. I dream of. So we have a think of, dream of, succeed in, plus ing, doing, doing. I prevented them from doing it. I'm looking forward to doing, to hearing, to receiving. I insisted on doing. So we have here of, and, from, to, and on, plus ing. But I want to, I hope to, I have failed to, I allow them to, here we have want, hope, fail, allow, plan, promise to. But think of, dream of, succeed in, prevented from, look forward to, insisted on, plus ing. The gerund. All right. So we can now move to do the exercises. So our lesson today is very simple. We have, of course, trained to see the differences between to do something or of doing something, to use the infinitive or to use the gerund. And now we turn to do the exercises. We have exercise number 1. Write sentences using afraid to or afraid of ing. The streets are here are not safe at night. A lot of people here are afraid to go out at night, so they don't go out. We walked very carefully along the path, the ice path. We were afraid of falling, but we walked. I don't usually carry my passport with me. I'm afraid to lose it. I thought she would be angry if I told her what happened, so I was afraid to tell her what happened. We ran to the station. We were afraid of missing the train. In the middle of the film, there was a very horrifying scene. We were afraid of looking at the scene. The vase was very valuable, so I held it carefully. I held it carefully. I was afraid of dropping it. If there is anything you want to know, you can ask me. Yes, don't be afraid of asking me. I was worried because we didn't have much petrol. I was afraid of running out of petrol. Exercise number 2, complete the sentences using interested on or interested to. Choose from these verbs. We have verbs like buy, hear, know, look, start, and study. I'm trying to sell my car, but nobody is instead interested in buying. Nicola is, all right, here. Nicola is, yes, here. Nicola is here starting her new business or her own business. Yes. Yeah. Nicola is interested, yes, in starting. I saw Joe recently. You will be, of course, here, interested. And that's, yeah, here you will be interested that he is getting married soon. Number 5 here. Number 4, sorry. I didn't enjoy school. I wasn't interested. Yes, I wasn't interested in studying in school. Number 5, I went to a public meeting to discuss the plans for a new road. I was interested, yes, to hear how people felt about the project. Paul doesn't enjoy sightseeing. He isn't interested in. He isn't interested. Complete. Yeah, we move to exercise number 3. Complete the sentences using sorry for or sorry to. I'm sorry to bother you, but I need to ask you something. We were here. We were sorry to hear that you can't come to the wedding. Yeah, I'm sorry for saying bad things about you. I didn't mean that. Number 4, it's a shame Alan is leaving the company. Yes, I'll be sorry. I'll be sorry to hear him go or to see him go. I'm sorry for making so much noise last night. Exercise number 4, Complete the sentences in each group using the verb in brackets. Right. Number one, we wanted to leave the building. We were allowed to leave the building. Number two, Sam and Chris hope to solve the problem. Sam failed. Yes, failed to solve the problem. Chris succeeded in solving the problem. I'm thinking of yes, of going away next week. I'm planning to go away next week. I'd like to go away next week. I'm looking forward to going away next week. Helen wanted to buy me lunch. Helen insisted on buying me lunch. Helen promised to buy me lunch. Helen wouldn't dream of buying me lunch. So now we have done the exercises of unit 66. The main point about this lesson or this unit is the differences between to do something or doing something. We have here, if we return to the first rule, we are afraid, for example, to do or to go near or to go out. We are afraid. We're afraid to go out. We're afraid, of course, to walk at that part of the city. So we do not walk. But we were afraid, or James was afraid to tell, James or someone was afraid of that, for example, something happened. The path was icy. We walked along the path very carefully, but we were afraid of falling. We do it although we are afraid of the consequence. But when we say we are afraid to, we do not do that. James was afraid to tell his parents what happened, so he didn't tell them. Yes, he kept silent. He never told them. But we're afraid of. Usually we have do it, although we are afraid of the consequences. We have interested in, buying and yes, and selling and reading, enjoying, and so joining and so on. But interested to means it would be good or nice or interested or interesting for me to hear your opinion, to know your opinion. Yes. So we have interested to hear your opinion, to see you at the party, to know what you think about the project, and so on. So we have these expressions like interested to know, surprised to know or to see, glad to see, delighted to see, surprised to hear that Tanya left her job. So we have another form, which is sorry for and sorry to. Sorry for you do it, you did something, and you are now you feel sorry about doing it. It was in the past. But sorry to here, I mean, of course, you apologize or you, of course, interested in something. We know the differences between want, hope, fail to, allow to, plan to, promise to. These take two, while think of, dream of, succeed in, prevented from, look forward to, and insisted on, followed by ing. So we have two forms, whether infinitive with to or with, ing, preceded by prepositions like of, like in, from, to, and on. So I hope we have covered the subject here.